It's the old man doing stuff down here in Prattville, Montgomery, Alabama. It is September 16th, 2025, and I wanted to video a special video today. I'm working with a tarantula. This is the pink salmon bird eater tarantula. It's basically the third largest tarantula in the world. I've had this one for about 3 years now. Done other videos on my channel that, we have several where it's stretched out. I'm not sure if it's a male or a female. It doesn't have hooks. It's molted several times, and I got it when it was tiny, about the size of a quarter. And they grow pretty fast. This one is always like to stay out after it got grown. But what I'm working on today, okay, stuff I haven't really done much of. First of all, I've got vinegar right here, just straight cleaning vinegar, drinking vinegar, whatever you want to call it. You got to be real easy. It doesn't have any chemicals, harsh like Windex or anything. I'm trying to clean the inside of the glass where you can see better, so I'm going to be quiet because just the movement can spook it. I have found that if you move slow, don't make any sudden movements, tarantulas that are calm, generally speaking, will hold their ground. They're not aggressive. Mostly, they can be defensive. This one has always been really calm. It doesn't try to get you. Mainly, it runs away if it gets scared. So that should help your visual to see it a little better. I don't ever try to hold it. I have zero interest in that. I don't try to touch it. And I do everything I can to attempt to not disturb it. As you can see, the lid's completely off. But, most tarantulas, there are some species that try to get out, but they prefer being in there once they get used to it. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to turn the camera a little bit. We're going to zoom in on that red cap. I hope you can see these beetles moving. Yeah. Those are dermestid beetles. These are the beetles that we use in taxidermy in our, in the world. It cleans the animal when it's getting ready to be taxidermied. And the taxidermists have millions of these probably. And I have them, and I have a breeding colony with my dubias. And I put a few in here because what they do is anything that the spider casts off after it gets through eating, the dubias will go eat it. And they'll completely clean out anything that's edible that was an animal, that will enable the tank to stay bacteria free as much as possible. And what I do, I'm going to be adding it today, is I have some food I put in here that it's to feed. I've got a couple of dubia roaches I keep all the time. So, I leave them in there. I don't hand feed this tarantula, which is a big deal for a lot of people. I've just never trained them that way. Pretty much they've survived and done well, the 2 or 3 I've got. And the little cap on the left, I put water in it. And with the pink salmon bird eaters, they come from a more of a humid type environment. So I do spray the tank daily a little bit to get some humidity up. And it also helps them in the shed, which you never know when that's going to happen. So when I zoom out, up at the top of the screen, in the very back left corner, you'll see that container. That holds water. And I always keep water in there. So on the right is its little cave. That's what it was raised in. And it used to dig down and it'd go all the way to the bottom. Down here, here's a little hole right here it made years ago. And it would dig all down in here and make little caves. And then it would close them up. And it hid most of the time for the first year or two. And then it started coming out. Right here, there's some spider web that it will usually keeps up a little bit. I'm not exactly sure why it does that. I guess maybe just to let it know when he goes in there if, anything's trying to come in and get him. So what I normally do when I'm cleaning the tanks and services them is I haven't cleaned the front very much, so it's a lot better than it was. So what I do is gently touch this. Try not to drop it. For the most part, the tarantulas, I mean, it's always possible that they could come at you, but you know, I try not to keep my hand in there too long. And there's your little better shot of the beetles. And they'll crawl in and out, and that's an apple and what's left of a couple of hard pieces of dry dog food. And especially dry dog food, these beetles like that. The dubias eat on the dog food and the apple for moisture and to get their vitamin C, etc. So what you have to do, what I do, is I carefully check and make sure there's no bugs in here. Let's see if I can get it in camera. There we go. And you just kind of peel it back. You got to watch for molds. You want to keep up with this. You don't want to just leave it for a week and walk away. You need to check every day, make sure it's not getting moldy. That looks pretty good. So I'll throw that in the trash, and I'll throw that trash can away. Same thing right here is you examine the pieces of food. And, you know, I'm not real everyday anal about this, but when I do get ready to take stuff out, and I always throw my garbage bag away. Don't leave it in the house because you don't want any kind of beetles or bugs or anything growing in the home. So those look pretty good. So I've got some really healthy adults right there. They're really cool. They will not touch anything that's alive. Not at all. Actually, after the spider molts, they will go in there and clean the moat up for a day or two to eat any dry material. Never had any issues. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bitty worm right here. Right at the bottom. Uh-oh, they're on their back. Anyway, I've got some little babies right here. So normally what I do is I just dump them out. Ah! Woo! He touched me. Damn. Excuse my French. See, you got to be real careful. And see, he still didn't come at me. He's a little spooky now. We'll see. Whoa, look there. Yeah, he's taking offense to that now. You see what I'm saying? I messed up when I tapped it on the bottom. He touched my right finger. I hope I got that on camera. So what we're going to do is I've got a squirt water bottle. I highly recommend these. And then you can just squirt water like I'm doing into the cap. And one thing I do know about them, they don't really like, okay, what I'm doing right now is, this is how I spray his tank. Just spray a little bit around, don't soak it real heavy. I've got a dubia right in there. Now if I spray him a little bit, he'll back off a little bit. Watch this. And you don't have to do much. You see that? Just touch him a little more with the water. They're not real big on water. You see him moving? He's a big one. Woohoo! Alright, so hopefully he'll stay there and not kick hairs. Alright, stand by. I'm going to be really quiet. I'm going to put my hand in there. Woo! Wow. That's better than a shot of Jack Daniels there. I'm going to gently set it down in here. Oh, and see me hitting everything. All right, stand by. So, gently put a piece of apple in. You see, even after that little bit of altercation there with me, it's no big deal. Everybody's happy. So he's moved around. I'm going to move the camera just a little bit. I'm about done with him. Going to zoom in on him a little bit. Stand by. Isn't that pretty? You see how he's got salmon colored hairs, almost pink, all around the outline of the body. He's got good weight on him, and like I say, he's very calm. And in my opinion, the way I've always messed with him is I've never touched tarantulas. Him touching me right there was a miracle. I haven't been touched by a tarantula in 10 years. So anyway, just wanted to show a little bit of my tank maintenance, and he's really doing well. A little update on the pink salmon bird eater and what I do to keep my dubia roaches alive in there and my dermestid beetles. So you guys take care. Hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it, even though it was a little scary when he touched me. I thought I was going to see Jesus. Old man doing stuff. Prattville, Montgomery, Alabama, 2025. Tarantula doing stuff.